This is round 2 of a tournament that we held at FAB Foundry in Portland, Oregon. At the top of the screen is Darian, at the bottom is Jesse playing Druid. And I believe it's round 2. Both players are 1-0 for the tournament. Darian starting by tapping the Templar for a Ruins and passing turn. Jesse drawing a spell for turn. And tap down for First Sight. And we'll get to see what that is in just a second. First Sight for Jesse is going to be Desert. Can't make use of the Genesis. Summons Tawny. And passes turn over. Probably some debate from Jesse on whether or not he was going to keep the desert, or if he had more important sites that he wanted to hold for future turns. Darian starting strong here. He's getting out the tournament ground for a second site in the center of the mat, which is where he wants that. That's the positioning that he got last game too, for turn 2, and that went pretty well for him. Turn 2, Jesse's playing Briar Patch and moving Tawny forward, passing turn. Darian, it looks like he's debating a site for turn. He draws a spell instead. He's going to tap down for third site. Looks like it is a Camelot. So Camelot, again, going to give discount for unique knights, sirs, dames, and the Templar additionally also giving discount. So we got a lot of discounts. He is playing Sir Bedivere onto the tournament ground, negating all of the threshold requirements. And passing turn. So strong start for Darian. He's set up pretty well here to start pumping out a lot of those powerful uniques that are in this version of the Templar deck that he's playing, if he can find them. Jesse tapping for a third site here. Probably tapping for a third site here. Looks like he's flying. I think he might just be moving. He was attacking the site. Darian opting to block. And then Jesse going to play another site to resummon Tawny to reposition on the bird. Valley, I believe he calls Earth. Playing a Sir Morian on tournament ground. And again, it's the double-edged sword that Darian is running here on some of these sites. Jesse's also going to get to take advantage of that if he is running any of those unique knights, or any knights in general for tournament ground. So a pretty strong response from Jesse. Passing turn, Darian debating if he's going to draw a spell or a site. Looks like he's going for a spell, excuse me. And he's got 3 mana. discounts from Templar, Camelot, and the Threshold. Negation from Tournament Ground. Taking a minute to think here, I think getting Sir Morian out quickly in response with his own tournament ground has kind of thrown him for a little loop here, or just requires him to think a little bit more about how he's going to respond to that. Tapping for a fourth site looks like a tower. He's going to get mana on Genesis there, so we're looking at 5 mana for turn. Five mana, let's see what he can do with it. That looks like a surveillance? No, a white knight. 5 mana for a white knight. He does have to pay the full cost, -1 for the Templar. Just because health totals are still 20 and 20. Looks like he was attacking in probably Sir Morian, and then Jesse's opting to block with one of the foot soldiers. It looks like he's passing turn. Jesse drawing a spell for turn. Let's see what we can do here. Jesse thinking about it, taking a look here. I've had the opportunity to play both of these guys locally, and Jesse in particular is a very methodical player. He spends a lot of time thinking out his turns, making sure that he's playing correct, or the turn that the way that he wants to play before he goes. So a Taurus Hammer onto Morian, and then attacking in. Tani attacking in for the final point of damage onto the white knight. And the foot soldier token taking the opportunity to attack into the home site. And then with that, he's going to play a site to get a recast on Tani. Double checking positioning. Desert is down. So Jesse currently at 4 mana, passing turn, and Tani should resummon onto that desert. I don't think he's remembered right now, but hopefully he remembers in a second. There we go. So Tani down on the desert. Turn is passed to Darian. See if Darian has a response here to try to take care of Morian, to try to take care of this foot soldier. Playing a forge. Looks like he's choosing to generate the lance token. So 4 mana remaining on turn. And I believe, as it stands, Bedivere could just attack into Morian and remove that piece from the board. But instead, he's opting to pick up the lance, and I think he wants to get that card draw engine started up here. Which it could be good, giving him that extra card draw per turn, but we'll see if that comes back to haunt him or not. Choosing not to remove Morian from the board here. I think because the game is still very early and the life totals are very high, Darian probably feels more comfortable leaving Morian unchecked here for the time being. And he still has 4 mana, so there might be another play here. He's certainly thinking long and hard about it, about what he wants to do here. I think if it was me playing the Templar, I probably would have opted to do the removal first. But instead, he's playing a Vengeful Heir to recast out or transform it into the White Knight, and he's playing it on the Forge location, which is an interesting location to put it. I think I would have put it on the tournament ground instead. But turn is passed back to Jesse now. So Jesse swinging with his Foot Soldier for a point of damage in. He's going to retreat with Morian back to the Briar Patch. Which I'm not entirely sure why he chose to do that instead of being more aggressive with it. Based on the placement, he could have moved forward. Tapping for a Sinkhole, which could potentially be very damaging for Darian here, assuming the Sinkhole target is going to be the tournament ground. And now we see why he did that, why he moved back with Morian. So he moved back with Morian so he could play the Earthquake. That's going to get rid of his 2 pieces on the board here. Drop the Lance token. Looks like Tawny can move in and pick up the Lance if he wants to. Or excuse me, the Lance token actually ends up underground buried. That's right. But he's gonna swing in with Tawny onto Camelot on that rearrange there for a point. And he's opting not to trigger the Sinkhole this turn. Or no, he did trigger the Sinkhole. Yeah, I think that's the correct choice. You want to deny the Templar player that tournament ground because it's going to do them way more benefit than what Jesse's potentially going to get out of the Druid deck. I don't know how many Knights or Sirs he's running in his deck, but like Sir Morian is probably one of a few options, and so he just got lucky in terms of getting that value out and getting that piece out and taking advantage of the tournament ground early. Darian tapping now for an Oasis back where the tournament ground had moved and been destroyed. And thresholds are going to become a bit more of a problem for Darian now. As a Templar, playing Templar, the current options for Knights, Sirs, Dames, they're very threshold intensive. And so not getting that discount from the tournament ground hurts. Passing my turn to Jesse. Jesse is drawing a site for turn. And he's going to fly Tawny to attack for 1. Attack with a Foot Soldier for another 1. Druid's going to tap for a site. I'm going to play a Step. And Force Hammer on Morian, attacking him 4. So 6 points of damage total this turn. 4 mana for a Siege Giant. Siege Giant is throwing the Druid forward up onto the Briar Patch. And then passing turn back to Darian. Darian started his turn here. Doesn't look good for Darian. Darian passing turn back. So he had no plays there. The sweeping out that tournament ground, I think, really hurt him. Jesse playing a second Siege Giant, and he's just running away with the game now with board presence here. So the Siege Giant will advance up, throw the Druid again. Druid is flipping. I think now he's in position now to want to get Bruin to kind of put additional pressure on Darian, and also just to create that field nearby where anything entering is going to do a point of damage. Morian moving and attacking again for another 3 points. Horse Hammer on to Tawny, attacking it again. And then attacking with the Foot Soldier as well. And then passing turn back to Darian. Darian is going to need some sort of board sweep here if he wants to make anything happen here in terms of stabilizing. Poison Nova would be exceedingly helpful at this point, but instead looks like he's tapping for a Step. I believe that gives him 6 mana. 6 mana and a handful of threshold. It looks like a lot of fire thresholds. He's got fire threshold, he's got two air threshold, a water threshold, and he's casting a round table on his back row, which is not great in terms of answering the threats that are at his door right now. But I'm assuming he's doing that because that is what he has available to him, and he's playing a yellow knight. So the yellow knight, again, it's not nothing. It's a blocker. It comes in with the lance, but it's there's a lot of scary things on the board right now that Darian is facing down. And I mean, 3/2 with the lance can take care of most of what he has on the board right now without the Torse Hammer. So I mean, like, Sir Morian, even with the Torse Hammer, he could block and kill that. He could kill Bruin. He could kill one of the Siege Giants without a Torse Hammer. But it's a one and done with that lance, right? And then Jesse is casting a Dispel to banish out that lance token to make life just a little bit harder for Darian. Then he's attacking in with a Siege Giant for 4. Darian's opting to block, which honestly I think maybe I would probably have chosen not to, just because no matter what, he can't trade, and he can't trade with it on that block, and he's going to go to door no matter what here. Yeah, he's just attacking in again with that second Siege Giant. He's attacking in with the Foot Soldier to bring him to door, and then he just has other pieces that he could also attack in with. At least leaving the Yellow Knight on the table would give him some options, or force Jesse to choose to attack in. But it's just a bad situation for Darian right now, honestly. Like, he needs some sort of board wipe if he wants any hope of stabilizing. And the fact that Jesse is so far upfield now with the Druid and has the Druid flipped for that ability is even more punishing. Darian can't even move with the Templar, otherwise he'll take a final point of damage. Darian trying to cast the Land Surveyor, but Jesse pointing out again, because the Druid is flipped, it would die immediately when it enters play, and it wouldn't take and the Genesis wouldn't trigger. Darian going ahead and conceding right now, just because, this was a very difficult position, and it was pretty close to checkmate if he didn't have something. So that was round 2, and we will move on to round 3 of this tournament.